Hello, another quick unboxing video. This time it's for the InWin 303 case. This case supports e-atx, ATX, micro ATX and mini ITX motherboards. I won't bother listing all the things on the side of the box. It's quite a big case. There was a comment on one of my videos about moving the camera a bit closer for unboxings. So I will be picking the camera up and moving it around a bit more than I normally do. Obviously, if the camera's any closer on this, we won't be able to see anything because it's quite a big case. Comes in a very nice big box. This particular one is the white version. There are other videos on the internet for this case being unboxed, but they're quite old because it's been around for a while, this case. So as this is a new case for a build that I'm doing, I thought I might film the unboxing and then we can see if anything's changed, to see if InWin actually watch any of the unboxing videos and make notes about what they can do to improve their products. So let's get it open and have a look. So it's quite a big box. You've got to be very careful with the knife going along the top. Right, pop that away. Alright, I hit the tripod. It's not very clever, is it? Okay, so instead of having large polystyrene top and bottom, it's got little ones in the four corners, which makes the usual trick of turning the box upside down not going to work. So we'll have to do it a different way. It's in a big sack, which is quite nice. Oh, hello, it's very nice. I'll put those handles on the way. I'm going to have to lift it out. There might be some swearing, just to warn you in advance. I don't really know where I'm going to put this now. Let's just pop it there. So in the box, there's 4 more of those little feet, and in sort of InWin styly, there's a nice little zippy bag. So the box is now empty, as we can see. So let's just get that out of the road. Quite a big box. That's the accessories, which we'll look at in a minute. We've got to find the top now and the bottom. Oh, that was the dust filter on the bottom. I think that caught my hand on. Oh, it's heavy. That's what I like about InWin cases. They are solid. If you press the side of a case, it shouldn't really flex, should it? Because they never used to. It's a bit like Stonehenge though, isn't it? That's the only way they could build it. If they had chipboard, they'd use that. But then it wouldn't still be here, would it? So, yeah. Oh, that's a weighty case. Let's just have a little look. Oh my, hello. Swing it round. That's rather nice. So, I'll just unclip the camera and we'll get closer. Yeah, really solid, really nice. Let's have another look around this corner here. So you've got the usual stuff on the front. Okay, put the camera back. We'll take it apart a bit and have a look. The top latch, well, every time I move it, I keep catching the dust filter, so I'll take the dust filter out. So it's quite a nice dust filter in the bottom. There's no holes in the front at all, so in terms of airflow, everything's coming up through the bottom. So you're going to have to think about that if you're putting it down or anything, and not put it on carpet. So there's that's a look. I do like the InWin side panels are great. They've got this lovely mechanism on, and when you unclip them and release them, they don't drop, because the ones that are held on by screws tend to drop. So we'll just move that out of the way and pop it down there, and then now the dust filter's gone, it's easier to flick it round. We'll have a look at the back panel. Now these are captive. I like a captive screw. They're lovely captive screws. It's not very easy to lose screws, because you just have to be a bit careful. But if you don't have to be careful, because they've made it captive, it just makes life a bit easier. Again, that doesn't drop when it comes off. There's a little ledge along the bottom that it sits in. So you can actually do it one-handed, which we'll do now, because what I'll do is I'll just fasten that on. I'll unclip the camera, and I'll hold the camera, and I'll try and take the side case off one-handed. See what happens. That's released now. It just drops. So down there, there's a little ledge, really like that. So you can put the side panel in, and you can do it all one-handed. Yeah, I love that. Rather than having to use one hand to balance it. So I'll move that out of the way. Oh, what we're at. That lovely sort of perforations in it, like a honeycomb sort of shape. I like that. It's nice when it's backlit, because the light where the airflow is meant to go, and it's not out the top, because the top is completely, there's nothing in the top at all. So we'll reclip that out, and then just while we're at it, have a quick look at this. So in the bag you get some cable ties, if you haven't got any already. Anyone that builds, well, assembles, it's not building, is it? Assembles computers seriously will have cable ties anyway, and one of those little clicky gun things. There's a QR code to go and get the manual, so you scan that and then your manual's on your phone. Those are rubber washers. No, hang on, no, not rubber. Those are solid washers, presumably for the radiators. Those are some screws in there. Those are fine threads. They're sort of SATA Ssd type screws. And there's another little bag of, oh wait a minute, really tiny ones. So those are the SATA SSD ones. So what are these for then? They're slightly thicker threads, so they look like the actual standard hard drive. Well, not standard, because SSDs are standard, but the 3.5-inch hard drive ones. And those are the SATA ones. And there's a nice bag full of big motherboard / power supply screws, and the risers, not brass, like stainless steel, but the risers for the board. A nice touch that they do is the Phillips screwdriver to riser adapter. So you put that into your screwdriver, and you can screw these in without having to need a 5mm bolt, hex bolt driver. So that's quite nice. But anyone that, as I say, anyone that assembles computers reasonably seriously will have one of those anyway. But it's still nice to see. And there's a bracket that you can screw on to support the heavy graphics cards to stop them sagging. But any graphics card that is that big anyway would normally have some kind of metal plate on the back to help with that. But still, it's a nice touch, because you can just bolt that on and the card doesn't, you can just be held there by it. Maybe it's quite good for transit if you're going to post a machine that you built with this in. So we put all that back in, and then we'll have another look at the case. So the power supply goes at the back here, and it's vertically mounted. So that helps with the convection. So what Inwin obviously are thinking is that the air comes in through the bottom and then out through the side, whereas normally it comes in through the front and then out through the back. That's the normal sort of ATX flow. So this case needs to be put on a hard surface, not on carpet. At least not carpet that's thick carpet. The feet are nice, substantial. They are plastic, but they're nice, substantial, and they do raise the thing up a little bit. There's also a fan in there, so you get a fan. So one of the videos said that they didn't have a fan because they'd got a test model, and the button to release the side panel was a different colour as well. They pointed out. Another thing they mentioned actually was that these are screws and not thumb screws, and they haven't changed that. These are still screws. I think screws are a bit cleaner, but thumb screws just look a bit. They just look a bit nicer. I mean, there's a screw there, which is on quite tight, but that's a little plate. There's two plates there to put SSDs on. And you unscrew, mount it, and then you screw it back on. So that's for your 2.5-inch SSDs. Obviously, the end-up-twos go on the motherboard, so that's largely redundant. But I think round the back is where the 3.5-inch drives go. And again, they've got a screw plate which I can't undo. I'll try and do it. Try and take one of the plates off. They've screwed that on pretty well. So I'll just take this one off. Just crack the screw. So it's a plate. You put the drive on and screw it on. There's lots of holes on it, so I think it supports quite a range of different drives. And that is a substantial piece of metal, so that you mount the drive, fit it in there, and then screw it into the hole. If I can get it in the hole, there we go. And there's two of those on the back for 3.5-inch drives, and two on the front for 2.5-inch drives, like SSDs mainly. And you can put one there. So you've got two with it, so you can have them like that, or you can put one. So there's a bit of variation. The other in-wing case I reviewed, the 301, that's got quite a nice sort of cover. This is very much open. They want you to put your big radiators there or on the bottom, but I'm guessing mainly there, which might be a problem because the power supply might get in the way. But it's still a very nice case. I mean, the fan is in-wing branded as well, so it's not like it's a third-party one. It is one of their fans. I don't know how good it is. I think it's set to blow air out, so they do want the air to come in through the bottom, so it doesn't come in through the front at all. So if you're going to buy this case for a bedroom, you'll need to put it on something hard, like a little bit of laminate floor or a tray or anything that's hard, or rise it up by putting it on a book or two. Not particularly elegant, I know, but it needs to be on a completely hard, flat surface to get that gap at the bottom. We'll have a look at the gap. I'll unclip the camera. Yeah, so the mic cuts out on my GoPro. More on that in another video, quite annoying. But here I'm talking about the carpet. If you put it on thick carpet, you'll block the bottom, and the airflow is designed to go through the bottom because there's no vents on the front at all. It's a solid plate. So if you do have thick carpet, try and stand the PC on something hard or prop it up on something so it's above it. Internally, the cables, yeah, they're pretty standard. You've got motherboard services, power reset, that kind of thing. There's a USB 3. That one there is for the LED, little starter power for the LED at the front. That's the USB 3. There's also USB 2, so you've got 4 ports on the front. That's kind of nice. Internally, there's not a great deal else to see. There are some nice black plates at the back. That's where the radiator can be mounted. It includes a case fan. So yeah, not a great deal to see. I will edit a little bit out. Now I'm talking about the back plates here. One review said that they didn't look very nice because they were small screws, and they would have preferred them to have been thumb screws. Well, I think it looks cleaner with the little screws, because you're only going to put them in once, and if you've got thumb screws, they stick out and they'll form a shadow that will sort of interrupt, because it'd be black and white. So that line that you get, I think that's a much cleaner look. There are thumb screws on it. That's for the little 3.5-inch drive mounts.
So those will, so you know, InWin do thumb screws, and you've got captive screws for the side panel anyway. So it's not like they don't do them. See there, they're on there. Look, there's one there and there's one on that. That's the Ssd mounts. They're quite solid bits of metal. Quite like those. But the back plates are held on with your standard little black screws, and I actually think that looks cleaner than using big sticky heavy thumb screws. And these are quality parts. They're big thick bits of metal. It's like they used to make cases, ones you could stand on to reach things. Now that's probably about it. I don't think there's much else I need to say. It's difficult when you do things in one take and then have to edit it afterwards because you GoPro conks out. But yeah, that'll be fixed, obviously. I'm going to RMA the thing and we'll get things fixed out. So yeah, sorry about the problem with the mic. But like and subscribe. Any comments, stick them in the comments. And of course, as usual, thanks for watching.